powered by Riverside.
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to another great episode of Live from the Bench. I am your GQ, and I'm joined here once again by Boulevard Fighter 2, Hyper Fighting Edition.
Hadouken.
So I know you guys already got a chance to look at our predictions for week 3, but we didn't give you the Eagles versus Saints game, and we're going to give it to you today. See, we separated because as Eagles fans, we want to give more attention to our Eagles fan base. You know, we give you what you need. So before we get into it, though, we want to get into some other things. We actually witnessed a defeat, Boulevard.
Yeah.
A defeat that we shouldn't have saw, and we're very upset about it. I know from my perspective, I'm very upset about it. I know you're kind of like annoyed with it.
I'm annoyed with it, but not surprised.
I wanted to get into it and see exactly what you think went wrong or what happened. I have my points that I want to get off of. So I just want to see what you want to get off your chest before I get it out too.
All right. Well, see, there's the obvious choices. You can go look at individual plays, like the 2 times they went forward on 4th instead of kicking the ball, or Saquon's drop pass, or, the fact that Hurts crumbles under pressure. And on that matter, let me just point out that this season he's 11 of 25 for 4.1 yards an attempt with a 35 rating. So, yeah. So he does. The thing about the pressure is true. He can't handle that. That said, the problem is the defense. I don't know if it's too young. I don't know if it's the talent. I don't know if it's the scheme. Actually, I do know the scheme doesn't help. I'm sure we're going to cover that. You want to wait on that, or do you want to do that now? You want me to get into that now? No, I think you got things to say. So,
all right. So I want to dive into some. One of the things you did mention was they went for it 2 times when they should have kicked it.
Right.
My issue with Philadelphia and this coaching staff is they fail. Like there's like this mindset like they gotta go for it when you have, and correct me if I'm blowing this out of proportion, but Jake Elliott's probably one of the top 15 kickers in the league right now.
Yeah, he's pretty reliable. Yeah, I'd say so.
Like they called the man Legatron for a reason. He started kicking 60-yard field goals before it was cool. He was the one. I remember he hit that 61-yarder like 4 years ago, and everybody was like, "Oh my god!" And then fucking Tucker, and the other guys just decided that, oh, we can do that too. But he was the one doing it before everybody else was doing it. So it's my thing is like, why not kick it? Because when you're not kicking it, and your offense has already proven that they're not able to just go out there and just hit you with that shock factor anymore, because they're not who they are. That's not who they are. They're not out there blowing teams out. So like lose the whole.
It's been a while since they've been blowing a team out. Like
the only time where I feel like the Eagles are automatic when it comes to 4th downs is if you're gonna do that tush push. If you're gonna do anything outside of tush push, kick it.
Right.
If you're not running tush push, kick it.
In the first quarter when they went 4-on-4 near the end zone.
Yeah.
And they threw it because they were too far away from the end zone to run it.
Right.
That should have been the sign right there that they should run it. What was it, 4th and 4 or something like that? 4 yards to go?
Yeah, I agree.
They should have kick the ball. It's a scoreless game. Take the lead. Get the lead.
Always take the points. I'm always taking points. That
scoreless game, take the points. Just get
And then the whole Saquon drop. He catch it, Eagles win the game.
Yep. In that moment, that was a crucial play, and he failed. But the blame isn't all on him.
No, the blame is all on him. And I hear a lot of people saying that. It's a lot of different people out there. They're saying that, oh, you got to put the blame on Barkley, not on the coaches. No, the coaches made the call. It was a bad call. You should have ran the ball. It was a bad call. A lot of people keep saying, oh, Saquon knows you should have caught the ball. You shouldn't have put the game. The game was like, you can't take risk like that. Especially when the risk is that you're turning the ball over if he doesn't catch it. Run the ball. Like, it was just stupid. There was no reason for that. No reason trying to be cute. Just run the ball.
I mean, there's a reason that people have utilized running the ball late in the game all throughout modern football history because it runs the clock. It forces the defense to use timeouts that they can't use on offense later on.
Yeah.
More importantly, as I said, it eats the clock. You keep possession. They can't score because they don't have the ball. It's common sense in football.
Yes.
Run the clock out.
And it's
don't
just
be so cute. Which Sirianni, in general, seems to have a problem with being too cute with his play calling. So
he's trying to do something.
Eventually, we got to get in this case about this shit. All this. Because you can't go for 4 every damn time. Right. Because you're not going to get it. No matter what the analytics say, it ain't going to work. And when you talk about 4th and 4, fuck the analytics. What's happening in a game? How is the flow of the game? Are you capable of moving the ball consistently 5 yards on a play? Have you had success moving the ball in the game? They hadn't so much at that point. So again, they should have took the points.
Also, I'm going to complain. This is me complaining. A receiver catching 6 passes for 23 yards.
That's ugly.
Is disgusting. And the reason why I say this is because there's no reason on earth that the 5th receiver on your depth chart should have 6 receptions when the only person that's hurt is A.J. Brown. And then you brought in Paris Campbell, who's probably going to be ahead of him on the roster just when you bring him in. So that it upsets me, especially when you had Jahan Dotson who only had 1 catch.
Yeah,
my opinion, I feel like if you would have ran those same plays that was run with Covey, and let me just say this, good job on Covey, was able to bring in 6 catches. Good job, brother. Good job. But I feel like if you would have put that ball in the hands of somebody who is known for making shit happen, like Jahan Dotson.
Somebody you could actually depend on, you mean?
Yeah, like Jahan Dotson. That's what you brought him in for. Yeah. To be that change of pace receiver. Let him do it. Like, it was like one of those things, like, again, trying to be cute, doing something with a receiver who doesn't really do it in the kickoff return. What makes you think he's going to do it in regular offensive play? He's not doing that. The one thing about Covey that I will say is that Covey doesn't let the ball go. He doesn't make mistakes with the ball in his hand. However, that's not what you need. You need somebody to get up the field, not someone that's just going to stay around the line of scrimmage. 6 catches for 23 yards. That's what's that? Less than
4, yeah. But let me make that worse. Let me make that sound even worse. His longest catch was 9 yards. So that was 5 for 14 outside of that catch.
That's horrible.
Yeah. I don't know if you're necessarily pointing the blame at Covey, if you're pointing the blame at the play caller, or you're pointing the blame at Hurts on that one. But that just should not have been happening. Those were ineffective passes. They were wasted plays.
Yes, because I'm not a fan of those routes. I'm not a fan of those plays. I don't like those because oftentimes they run those plays and there's the wrong person getting the ball. The person that's gonna make people miss is not that guy. So that's one of the big issues because I feel like you put the ball in somebody who's actually has the speed, has the athleticism to make a person miss. That's 6 receptions for 60 yards or 6 receptions for 70. Like you doing that with Jahan Dotson, you're looking at potentially a 100-yard game because that's like there's a big difference between Jahan Dotson's skill and Britton Covey.
If
Now,
Jahan Dotson had the same amount of targets that Britton Covey had with the same production that Dotson had, he would have had 36 yards compared to Covey's 23. It ain't much of a difference. Like it ain't a big number, but it's a bigger number. That's more effective. Mm-hmm. That's at least half to the down marker. So you're really doing something. You're moving the ball forward, which is not just catching it and falling down, which is essentially what Covey was running into.
That's essentially what Covey was doing.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting past his line. He wasn't getting past his blockers. And that's another thing with Philadelphia. No one blocks on the second level. No one blocks on the next level. The receivers, not blocking. The only person I saw blocking out there on the field was Devontae Smith. And kudos to Devontae Smith for just coming out there and fucking putting the team on his back because that's what he did. He put the team on his back.
What choice did he have?
Yeah.
Saquon, it wasn't Saquon. Saquon did his part outside of that catch.
Yeah.
He was doing his job. The offense was moving. The offense is fine.
The offense was fine. It's just that there were bad decisions. Like I think if you change a few things, it's a blowout.
Brown played Eagles win going away.
Yes.
That's where the difference was. Covey was out there playing A.J. Brown's role, and he just ain't up to par. Not saying he played A.J. Brown's role. That's probably the wrong way to phrase it. But he ate a lot of targets. He wasted a lot of targets. If those that went to Goddard, if those that went to Smith or literally any other receiver, Calcaterra, I think outside of Calcaterra, we probably could have trusted even Calcaterra to do more than
Calcaterra was. In the beginning of the game, Calcaterra was getting open, making catches. I think in the beginning of the game, he was wide open. He was just catching passes, getting open. And I feel like so often Philadelphia goes away. They start making some progress and then they go away from what was working. I'm almost done shitting on the offense because the offense is a very good. We have a really good offense in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I feel like there is just a disconnect with what's on the field is like we see something going on, and I feel like the coaches aren't seeing the same thing, or they feel like it's not working when it is. So they're like, "Oh, let's do this," or it's just them trying to be too cute. Now,
the play calling is too cute, and they can't. Like Hurts doesn't handle the blitz well.
Exactly, I agree. Now, another thing. Now I'm done shitting on offense. The defense. I have been 100% advocating for this defense all year. Been advocating. I've been excited to see this Vic Fangio system. I was excited. Quinion Mitchell's doing a hell of a job. Mm-hmm. Hats off to him. He's doing a hell of a job. Putting these number twos. However, he kind of got exposed out there against Mooney. He got exposed out there against Mooney. Not that he was getting burnt. It was just Mooney just found too many openings. Like he got too many chunk plays on the Eagles. Mm-hmm. He's not burning them, catching a lot of passes. He was just getting chunk plays. That's what it was. That's where he was scoring off of. Then our safety play, horrible safety play. Horrible safety play. Reed Blankenship missing everything. Not good at all. Avonte Maddox not making mistakes. You're out there being a liability. And then Darius Slay. Darius Slay got caught lacking, looking in the backfield. And it's one of those things. Like when I was coaching DBs, I used to say, there is no reason that a cornerback should have his eyes in the backfield. There's no reason. You should not be looking in the backfield. You need to be guarded. If you're guarding someone man to man, there's no reason for you to be have your eyes in the backfield. Your eyes should be on that receiver and reacting to him. So that is why Eagles lost, because Darius Slay got caught lacking.
Yeah.
He got caught lacking. Now, the biggest issue I see with the Eagles defense, before I go into positions, is this defense scheme. There's no pressure. There's no pressure. And one of the things that I kept saying in our chats throughout the week is, how do you have a 3-4 defense where you have essentially 5 pass rushers and not rush? I don't understand it. When you got Devontae Sweat,
how are you running a 3-4 in general in that blitzing?
Josh Sweat, right? Like, how do you have Josh Sweat on one side and Bryce Huff on the other, and not rush? How do you have Brandon Graham out there not blitzing? How, like, it's like you have Milton Williams, huh?
He don't blitz.
Yeah, and it's a problem for me because it bothers me so much, because the week before they were blitzing with everybody. Not necessarily blitzing, but the rush was there. We saw Zach Bond come out of position, get a sack, going the hell off. And as of right now, he's been the most effective linebacker on this Eagles defense.
Yeah,
that is
tackles and sacks.
And that is horrible. And then you have, and I don't agree with a lot of people saying that Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter were like bust. I don't agree with that. I feel like they are so there's a reason why they were effective when you had Fletcher Cox and Jordan Hargrave. There's a reason why that rotation was effective, and it was because you had someone who actually knew how to control a defensive line. Like Fletcher Cox was bull. He was that guy. So everybody was going to eat when Fletcher Cox was on the field, because Fletcher Cox can do it all. Now you try to make that transition from Fletcher Cox to Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis is not going to work, because they aren't that same type of defender. They aren't him. And then when you have Jordan Davis, who is 100% a stuffer, he just stuffs the run. Then you have Jalen Carter. It just doesn't work. It's not working because there's no rush on the outside, and you can just double team the defensive line. You're double teaming the defensive line, and I don't know what your edge rushers are doing, because what are they covering? Because they're not rushing.
Yes, they're covering. That's the problem. They're covering. They're dropping back. Yes.
This is the reason why Alvin Kamara had the game he had. And it just upsets me. So I think some need to change. Either Eagles go and I keep seeing other people are saying Eagles should go after a pass rusher. How he's going to go after a pass rusher? It's not going to happen, because it's not going to change anything. Vic Fangio's system, if the system's not changing, there's no reason to go out there and get a pass rusher. Rusher. Like we went out and got Bryce Huff.
It's unsalvageable. It's a bad situation. The coordinator the scheme doesn't fit the talent. The talent doesn't really hasn't figured it out yet. The line, it's bad all around on the defense. The talent isn't playing up the potential. The corners are rookies, and the veterans are just fucking up. And sixth worst in passing allowed, 8th worst against the run. That's a bad defense.
Yeah.
And if you can't rush the passer with your normal setup, then you have to blitz, because you have to get pressure.
Yes.
What makes me think is, okay, Fangio's been around for a long time. He knows what the issue is. He has to see the problems. He knows that there's no pass rush, but he is too stuck in his ways to make more of an effort to blitz. But at the same time, aren't you supposed to adjust your own schemes to the talent that you have?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that what separates good from great? The great ones can work with any talent. They can make any defense better. I thought that's what they said with Fangio. He would make a defense better. How is he making a defense better if he's playing them against scheme? The things that they're supposed to be good at, he's taking away.
Andy Reid, the best.
I mean, can you not adjust to the talent? Can you not fit your scheme with what is out there? Because if you can't, you fuck Fangio, okay? Because what you're trying to do is not what the team's built for. He needs to fix himself around the scheme and put his ego in the trash can. Because what's important is the pass rush. If there's no pass rush, they're going to pick the defense apart all day through the pass. And if they can't stop the pass, what are they really going to do? I mean, you're running 3-4 and you can't stop the run. Because even with Davis out there, you're not stopping the run. You don't have enough depth to really rotate solidly.
Nope.
You have 2-3 sacks on the season. Your middle linebacker has 2. And Milton Williams has the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Guess how many interceptions they have on the season?
None.
One. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They're not getting pressure. They're not getting turnovers. They're averaging 6.4 yards against them when they run the ball. When the other team runs the ball, 6.4 yards a carry. Okay? They're not doing anything to stop anything. Wait, no. Let me rephrase that. The defense, the defense is giving up 57.8 yards, per completion percentage, okay? 7.8 yards per attempt. So they stopping for some passes, but the passes are still getting massive yardage per play. 13.5 yards per catch. 7.8 yards per attempt. Okay? So they're still moving the damn ball. Because no matter how much the secondary tries, they're still not getting enough pressure. So the quarterback still has time. So until you can get actual pressure, and with this roster, you're not going to do it. And with this coordinator, you're not going to do it. So, but until you can, you ain't get defenses going nowhere. They could be the worst defense in the league. I mean, there's other bad defenses, but they're probably one of the worst in the league.
Yeah.
And that's to compare with one of the best offenses in the league. One of the best wide receiver rooms, even though whoever the third receiver is, they still need to figure that shit out. Because outside of Smith, they ain't using Goddard enough.
Nope.
So who's the third option? Smith, Brown, then who? Well, when Brown comes back. But currently Smith, then who? Are they going to finally use Goddard? Who's to say? Are they finally going to start using Shipley more? Are you going to use one of the other rookies? Something's got to give. Somebody has to step up.
Yeah.
Offense needs to third receiver, obviously. Defense needs to learn how to stop the run and rush the passer and actually make some damn plays on the ball.
And tackle.
And tackle in space.
Bullshit.
That's a lot of problems for a team that people think, oh, they could get to the Super Bowl. That's a lot of problems.
You can't overlook that.
No, you can't. And they got the Saints coming in. This defense, they already got 7 sacks. I mean, they're going to get pressure.
I want to correct the mistake I made earlier. I said the game that Kamara had against them. It was Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier.
Yeah, 6.9 yards per carry and 5.9 yards per carry.
Galloped all over this Eagles defense. So there's a lot of issues, and it's just like I need the Super Bowl conversation to stop. Because this is not Super Bowl Philly right here. This is not Super Bowl Philly. Now, I will say this. Cam Jurgens doing a hell of a job replacing Jason Kelce. But again, it's not that the Eagles offense isn't performing. It's just the Eagles offense is not as dynamic as it should be. We need this team to be putting up 30, 35 points a game weekly, maybe even more. This offense has to be dynamic enough to hit 4 or 5 touchdowns a game in order to win because the
Let me
defense
counter that. It's not the offense. If the
No,
defense
it's
could
not.
stop them, they would get the ball back and score more.
I agree. But that's where I was going to get to. It's in
Sorry.
order with this defense, with the defense performing the way it is, Eagles have to put up 35, 42 points a game in order to compete with the fact that their defense is not stopping. They're not stopping anything.
Right.
Like, it's like, this is just, it's just, they're just not doing it. It's like they have, on paper, you look at this Eagles defense on paper, you're thinking pretty good. In the game, nah. I have nothing to be excited about.
No.
You looked at that Atlanta defense, that Atlanta team, and you're like, oh, no. And then someone's got to talk to Jalen Hurts about his turnovers. Someone's got to talk to him about these turnovers. Get him a legitimate quarterbacks coach. Stop trying to force the get him a legitimate quarterbacks coach. Like, stop trying to be cute with your coaching staff. Like, oh yeah, I think this guy's going to be a great coach in the future. Fuck that. Go out
they
there.
have not shown sound. Sirianni has not shown sound judgment in his hires at all.
Exactly.
And in my opinion, that should be enough to get him fired by itself, because he's showing a lot of bad judgment on his play calling and his hiring. So
agreed. Because and here's two things I'm going to say, three things maybe. Byron Leftwich can coach quarterbacks. He's effective enough to coach a quarterback. Probably a lot better than Alex Taney. I'm willing to bet that he can probably coach Jalen Hurts a lot better than Alex Taney.
Yeah. I mean, I like my quarterback to have actually played in games. So, I mean, my quarterback coach have actually been there and seen shit.
I agree.
I don't want my quarterback to be a four-stringer, jag, can't body that couldn't make it.
I don't even know where Alex Taney played. I know his name sounds familiar. I just don't know where he played. But I would,
because he's irrelevant.
I would rather you get me somebody that knows the game. Fucking DeFilippo, tell him, hey, you're just the UFL ain't happening right now. Could you I don't know if it's out there, do it. I don't know who the Eagles DB's coach is. I'm sure we can find somebody. What's his name? The guy, Chris Richard. He's out there. Bring him in, or he might have went back to somewhere. But there are guys out there. You can get people to actually help this defense, because we're hurting. Shit, the wide receivers coach. This wide receivers coach, Aaron Moorhead, is a dog shit coach, and I feel like the only reason why he's still here is because AJ Brown and Devontae Smith can't fuck up. He's the only reason that he still has a job, because AJ Brown and Devontae Smith can't fuck up. Aaron Moorhead,
he hasn't really developed anyone.
He hasn't. And the only reason that's what I say. If they didn't have a good receiving core, Aaron Moorhead would not be here. And it's just it's time to start getting people that can actually coach and develop players. Shit, whoever the quarterback's coach is in Tampa Bay.
You're talking about off-season shit.
Yeah, it's off-season shit, but it's this is where we're ending up in this season, and we're fucked.
We have 15 games to go before we can even do anything like that. How do we get
it? This is the ample time to do it before we got here. But you're right. You're right.
They made all the wrong moves. Like I said, Sirianni has terrible judgment when it comes to his hiring.
You want to know where the red flag was for me? When he decided that he was going to play the CEO coach role. That was the red flag. When you decided that you were going to give up all control over your offense, that was the red flag. But let's move on
No, because I want to point one more thing out.
All right, go right ahead.
When they actually protect Hurts, he's completing 82.1% of his passes.
Mm.
Okay. And when they actually use motion, he's completing 65% of his passes, and he only has one interception. When they don't use motion, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, a 55 rating. So that's one thing that they have to keep doing, because that seems to be one thing that actually works. Hurts to Smith and Brown works as it should. Barkley works as it should. It's all those other little pieces, not the line, but all those little offensive pieces that need to step up. So, like somebody needs to take over as that third option.
Yeah.
But the problem lives and dies with the pass rush.
Yeah.
Like we'll never get anywhere if we can't get pressure. Anywhere with that defense. Like, I mean, you can't expect them to consistently stop anyone when a quarterback has 5-6 seconds to do something. Like 4 or 5 seconds, too damn long without pressure to do something. When running backs are consistently getting past the first line of defense and most of the time the second line, really. Quite often, second time. Because you get them in open space and outside of Bond, no one's capable of tackling consistently. No one's wrapping up consistently.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's really all I think. Pretty sure that's all I got for that side.
Yeah, well, now, it gets worse. It does get worse.
It does get worse.
Because C.J. Gardner-Johnson is injured, so.
Carr is 14 of 20 for 263 with 3 touchdowns off of play action. That's just something to pay attention to in this game.
Oh, they get beat off that play action. Play action. Oh, they get killed on the play action.
This is going to be a problem. Yeah. Kamara averaged 5.7 yards per carry. His longest carry, I think, was 19, and he has 11 fewer carries than Saquon, but 6 fewer yards. And you couple that with the defense averaging 6.4 yards allowed per run, that's a disaster. No, this is going to be bad.
So let me ask you this. Do you think that it improves this year?
I think the players will get better, yeah. But I don't know how much it will improve because, again, until there's a pass rush, there's going to be problems.
Yes, I agree with that.
So that's the first thing gets settled. And once you can actually get that consistently, that'll help the secondary a lot.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know what to do about that run game. I think that's just a matter of talent. I mean, pass rush is clearly a matter of using players wrong. Bad scheming. I mean, if what's his name, Fangio decides he wants to adjust his scheme because he wants to win, then he'll probably start blitzing. If he can't swallow his pride and start blitzing, it's going to be a disaster because the team currently constructed can't rush the passer because who's going to rush the passer? That fluke, that lemon that they bought? That's what he is. He's a damn lemon. Like, look at his stats. You know how sometimes there's those players who's like, they're there, but they don't do shit for 3 years. Then it comes to the last year of their contract and suddenly they're making noise.
Yeah.
That was him. That's what he was. Another Albert Hainsworth. That's what he was. I'm not saying he's Albert Hainsworth because, shit, if he had that kind of talent. But no, he was a rotational pass rusher who got lucky last season because, well, the Jets D-line was the Jets D-line. You know the talent on that damn roster, on that defense.
Yeah.
That's why. It was a fluke. That was his 4th year in the league, and he never came close. What did he have, like 11 tackles in his career? Like, nah, man. Dude was a bust from the start. I'm not mad that they got rid of Reddick instead of giving him $26 million because that's ridiculous. But looking the way it's looking, we would have been better off if he was here making that 25, 26, because at least somebody would have been rushing the passer. Even if Fangio didn't want him to. We know Bull went rogue last season. He'd still be rushing the damn passer. At least somebody would be, and that would help the secondary.
He would put some
out here
pressure
calling
out there,
Fangio a damn genius because the defense looks good because somebody's rushing the passer.
All right, let's go ahead and move on, Boulevard, because we got a lot to get into.
All right.
And we're going to introduce a new segment to the show, ladies and gentlemen. It's called, and I want to give credit where credit is due. This is a Boulevard creation, and I'm excited for it.
So they're already disappointed. Like,
No. It's called introducing. It's called Dozers, Posers, and Closers. I'm pretty sure I may have gotten it wrong.
No, you got it right.
And so basically, we're gonna figure out who's who in the NFL. Without further ado, let's get it.
All right. Well, I'm sure I shouldn't have to explain this to people out there, but dozers are teams that just ain't worth caring about. Like, they're boring. They're not going to be anything when it's all said and done. The duds, basically. The posers are essentially pretenders. And the closers are real deal contenders. All right. With that, here we go. My first team for you, the Chicago Bears.
The Chicago Bears
or closer.
The Chicago Bears, as of week 3, are dozers.
Okay.
I don't see anything about them to be excited about.
Are they still sitting out there winless?
I believe so.
That would make them irrelevant in my book. All right. No, they were 1-1. Still irrelevant though.
Still irrelevant.
As long as that quarterback ain't. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need more from fucking Caleb. We need a lot more from Caleb. All right, my next team, dozer, poser, or closer. Arizona Cardinals.
They're posers. They look good. They look like they can be good. But John Gannon is still their head coach. So
that's true.
He's a poser. Yeah, he's a former defensive backs coach trying to run a spread offense. That's my.
Where's Sean Desai right now?
I think he's like someone's assistant defensive consultant somewhere.
At this point in the season, would you rather have him or Fangio?
Honestly, I'd rather have Desai right now. I'd rather have Gannon, honestly.
God.
Because Gannon at least blitzed a lot. Give me Schwartz. Give me Schwartz.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having Schwartz back. I wouldn't complain about that at this point. At least he got something out of him. We saw Schwartz was at least a decent coach. I don't know.
He's in Cleveland. He'll get a head coach offer if the
Cleveland
Browns figure it out.
Number 3, dozer, poser, or closer. The Atlanta Falcons.
The Atlanta Falcons are dozers. Even though they beat the Eagles, they're still bad. They're still bad. I have no faith. You put them in a team that has their shit together, that knows to blitz a fucked up Kirk Cousins, a guy that can't move worth a damn. You put Kirk Cousins, you make him have to force Kirk Cousins to have to run with the ball or try to scramble. It doesn't work. They're dozers. I'm not worried about the Falcons. I'm not worried about it.
Fair enough. See, I had them as posers. But number 4, JETS, Justin's Joy to Suffering. the New York Jets.
They're still dozers. Even they're posers. They're posers. I get that Aaron Rodgers makes them better because he's there, but they're not impressive. Like, you beat the Patriots, but everyone knew you were going to beat the Patriots. I'm not excited. Call me back in week 8, and we'll see where it is. Like, if Aaron Rodgers is still under center in week 8, then we can revisit it. But no, thank you. They're still posers.
See, I had them as such posers. I had them actually losing in New England. I'm surprised he won. I don't believe in Aaron Rodgers. Even when he was out there winning MVPs, I didn't believe in Aaron.
But we know who you do believe in. I'm not going to say his name.
Walked right into that shit. You might as well. You earned it. You got me. Who do I believe in, GQ?
Joe Hendry. All right. What's the next team?
All right. The undefeated San Diego Chargers.
Posers. They're posers.
Really?
They're posers. Yeah. I want to believe that they're better. I want to believe that they're better, but it's just I feel like they're getting really lucky. Yeah. I still need to see more from them. I'm still not sold on them. I'm still not sold on Justin Herbert. So I still think they're posers until I see. Like, I think just like the Jets, hit me back up in week 8 because I don't know. I'm not sure.
As of now, I got me personally. I like them. I like what they do. They got a plus 35 win differential. They're winning with running and defense, old school style. Pound the rock, beat up the opponents. Yeah, but that's
why I say let me know in week 8 because at some point you're gonna have to like that running the ball this early in the year is gonna force them to have to pass because
somebody's gonna contain them at some point.
Yeah, and it's gonna be like, oh, now you gotta rely on Herbert, and I don't know if Herbert's that guy. So and those receivers, ooh.
Well, it might not be this week. Oh yeah, the receivers, that's probably why they're not utilizing Herbert so much. That or like everyone else, you don't really trust them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't imagine. But this week against the Steelers, I could see it working. I picked the Chargers to win this week anyway. And looking at this pick 'em, it's like it's split down the middle. No one knows who's going to win.
Yeah.
And who are they playing this week? My number 6 team on Dozers, Posers, or Closers, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Pittsburgh Steelers, as much as I've been rooting and raving about them, they're dozers. I'm not worried about them at all. I think
the Steelers are absolutely dozers.
This is going to be the year that Mike Tomlin gets his first losing record. This season, he'll get his first losing record.
No, he's my Joe Henry. I believe he can finish 9-8 again.
No, he'll go 8-9 this year. And what is it? 8-9, 9-8-9.
8-9, yeah. Or I say 9-8. You say 8-9.
But he'll go below 500 for the first time in his career.
Damn, that don't happen too often in Pittsburgh lately.
Yep, it's got to happen eventually.
They have a messy quarterback situation.
Yeah. That's the only reason why.
Yeah. Their running backs, they're still trying to figure that out, but the running backs are okay. Yeah. You may be right. I hope not. I only want success for Tomlin. So, my number 7 team is the Buccaneers.
The Buccaneers are closers. They're closers. And Baker Mayfield is still doing a damn great job. So I can't like I can't fault what I'm looking at. I can't fault
Right.
it. Buccaneers, they're not slowing down. They showing no signs of slowing down. So they're closers. They're doing what they got to do.
Mm. All right. No argument here. All right. Seattle Seahawks.
Closers.
Think so?
Closers. Yep.
Okay.
They got
Think they're
over
gonna be the real deal?
for like the next 2 years.
All right. We'll come back to this.
Once
I like
it's
their
time,
roster.
once it's time for those contract questions to start coming up, and you got to
Yeah.
pay one of these guys, then you can revisit it. Because when DK Metcalf's contract is up, they're not going to pay him, and he's going to leave.
Mm.
And then once Geno leaves, they got to figure that quarterback situation out all over again.
Yeah, they're going to have to re-sign Geno in 25. Looks like.
Yep. So,
Okay.
and he's
Something to
probably
think
going to
about,
want
though.
big money.
He should.
Yep.
All right, Seattle fans, enjoy it while you can.
Yep. I give you 2 years.
Now, this team, which, I've been singing the praises of their new star receiver, all preseason. And that team is the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, yeah,
Rashid Shaheed for president in about 12 years. I'm a fan.
Posers. They're posers. They're posers.
No,
They're
even
posers.
with future head coach Clint Kubiak calling the offense, might be a top 10 defense. Might be a top 10 defense. If they Saints offense keep it up, they're going to be possibly a record-setting offense. So I like what they're doing.
I love what they're doing, but what happens when Kamara gets hurt? And he will get hurt.
He will get hurt.
What happens?
Jamal Williams, which he's no Kamara,
No.
especially catching the ball, but they'll adjust.
For now, they're closers.
Okay.
I'll give them
say
that. They're closers for now.
Mm.
We'll revisit this segment later in the season.
Oh, yeah, this will be back in about week 7, week 8.
Yeah, when we revisit this, we can figure out who moved, who changed, and who didn't.
Mm-hmm. All right, my 10th and final team, Minnesota Vikings.
Dozers.
Absolutely.
I'm not worried about the Vikings. No, thank you. Now, if Josh Dobbs was their quarterback, for sure. For sure. They'll be posers, but they're dozers for sure. Sam Darnold is.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the reason. Sam Darnold.
And let's be realistic. Vikings fan, how long do y'all think Sam Darnold is going to hold you guys up? Like, how long do you think that that he's going to play like this? It's not going to last forever.
Do you think Sam Darnold is one of the 20 best quarterbacks in the NFL?
No.
That wasn't a question. That was just spur of the moment.
Do I think that he's better than Bryce Young? Yes.
Well, that's not a fair comparison. At least Kirk Cousins had help.
And this is where I said, like, if we put CJ Stroud in Carolina, would he succeed? No. I don't think anybody can succeed in Carolina's offense.
I don't think Mahomes would. I don't think they're a legit Hall of Fame quarterback, first ballot Hall of Fame quarterbacks that couldn't win with that offense.
Yeah. Ooh, it's so bad there.
Yeah. It ain't Bryce Young's fault. You know what? Maybe he may be too small to be a quarterback, but I really hope that when they drop him after this season and he goes to another team, he has a good season.
I do too.
I'm hoping he has a good season, just like every other quarterback that got out of Carolina, because Carolina is the problem. Yeah, Young was terrible and he didn't improve, but he didn't improve in Carolina. Every last, 3 quarterbacks that went to Carolina were terrible there.
Yeah.
Everybody after Cam, essentially, everyone after Cam left was ass. Yeah.
They haven't had good quarterback play since Rivera left.
Yeah, that's not the quarterback's fault. That's the system. And I don't necessarily mean the play calling, the coordinators. I mean top down.
Yeah, Tepper came in and was just like, I don't want to win.
Right. So
that was the turning point when he fired Ron Rivera. You did what, my boy? You cut Cam Newton, nigga. What?
It's what happens to a lot of first picks. They end up on a terrible team. That's what happens. That's why they have their first pick.
And that's my issue with Tepper. It's like you came in here and dismantled that team.
Right.
That should be studied.
That's how it happens. I mean, I can always line up thinking, I'm sure he comes from business. So he thinks, I bought this. I'm going to come in, strip it down, and rebuild it back up. Get rid of this trash, the scraps. Try to cut costs, all that bullshit.
Somebody needs to show him Chip Kelly's film.
Right. Meanwhile, not knowing anything about what business he's actually in. Like a lot of owners when they come in. Like, that doesn't work. Like, you got to have people that know what the hell they're doing. You got to listen to those people because that's what happened with Snyder. He came in, he didn't listen to people. He thought he had all the damn answers, and he immediately destroyed that team. And now they still can't recover. That's what Tepper is on the brink of doing in Charlotte.
How long does he last in ownership?
20, 30 years.
I hope not.
Good luck, Carolina.
Yeah.
Y'all might not even be in Carolina by the time he leaves.
Oh, for sure. That
y'all might be in Richmond.
And that's why one of the reasons why I really don't feel like that he's gonna last there that long. Because it's going to start looking like he is a horrible owner, and someone's going to purchase. Someone's going to want to buy him out. So, but let's
need a scandal to get him out of there.
Yeah. All right, let's keep pushing.
Yeah.
We're done with the dozers, closers, posers, ozers, flozers, blowsers, and we're going to get into some little quick topics. Get some quick hits in.
Okay.
So there's rumblings about banning the 2 deep safeties. I want to get your opinion on this before I basically shut that whole thing down.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start with the simple fact. It came from Mel Kiper. Okay. Mel Kiper, he probably watches a lot of game film. So, yeah, he sees that the 2 deep safeties are containing some of these newer offenses. And because they're containing the newer offenses, he thinks because the quarterbacks aren't getting their numbers, it's a problem for the league. I don't think it's a problem for the league. I think it's just evolution of the game. It's all coming full circle. Everybody got all cute, wanted to throw the ball 40, 50 times a game because they thought that was the way to score. That's what the analytics said. So everybody adjusted their defenses to play passing, to play against the pass. And you know what happened? The run game became more effective. So that's where we're at now. We're at a point where because of the cover 2, which can, from what I understand, be destroyed by bunch offenses. But, I mean, I'm not smart enough to get into all of that right here. But there are ways to beat it. But not every team can run it.
Right.
These 2 deeps are more designed to beat these Shanahan offenses, essentially. Yes. And most teams run those. I mean, you can use it against the Reed offense, too. You can use it against Philly offense. This is what most teams use, like 60% of the time, because it's effective. Now, to say you're going to ban a play because it's effective goes back to, like, the tush-push thing again. Like, There's no realistic reason to do it. If you don't like to play, you adjust what you have. Okay, because that's how they're adjusting to what you're doing. And that's what the game is. You pass, you get pass heavy, the defense becomes pass defense heavy. So you start developing effective running backs. Tennessee with Henry. You start doing that. That works. That wins you division. So teams are like, wait a minute. Now we should be running the ball more. Philly goes and gets Saquon. Shit like that. Run the ball. Power running. It's effective. It's smart. It's logical. Linemen are smaller. Linebackers are faster, but they're not stronger. They're not big anymore. Run the ball down their throats. It's effective. Okay? And it counters the two deep safety.
Yeah.
This is much ado about nothing now. But considering the source is the only reason I'm even talking about it. But I don't even know that. Yeah, I don't know. Fuck Mel Kiper, basically.
Yeah.
Fuck Mel Kiper. He's a damn fraud. 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 I've always said he was a damn fraud.
I agree with your sentiment exactly. And I feel like if I want to play this game, you want to ban the two deep safety. How about this? I ban offensive packages that have more than 3 wide receivers.
Right. I mean, you want to get stupid about it. Let's get stupid about it.
Yeah, let's get stupid because it's basically you just don't like football. That's basically what it is. You don't like football. You're more worried about the game being flashy and interesting.
Instead of being
we don't give a shit. We want to watch football. Football is football. If John Madden were here, he would be jumping down your throat, Mel Kiper. Stop. Right. I hate people that don't know shit about football, just talking about like, I watch film.
He does watch a lot of film.
Shut the fuck up, Mike Kiper. We can move on.
All right.
Travis Hunter has said that he wants to play both sides over in the NFL. Now, my opinion about this, and it's like we actually discussed this. I felt like back when we discussed this about a year or two ago, it was one of our original viral videos when I basically said I feel like he can do it, but I don't think it's good for him long term, especially in the NFL. I don't feel like it's going to work because, yes, potentially it does give you the opportunity to capitalize on depth and like you can like basically use them. But if he gets hurt, you're lost. You're losing a lot because not only are you losing your starting receiver, but you're also losing your starting corner.
Right.
And that affected Colorado when he got hurt on that cheap shot, on that dirty hit. He got hurt. A lot of people don't think it was a dirty hit. I think it was a dirty hit. When he got hurt, it affected Colorado because not only did they lose their best receiver, they also lost their best defender. So I feel like do not put yourself in a position. I feel like that's selfish. It's like, yes, you want to do it, but be realistic.
Right. It ain't going to happen.
So that's my opinion about it. I don't think it's smart to even want to bring that up. Right. It looks bad.
Physically, you're asking too much of yourself, especially over 17 to 20 games.
Yes.
That's foolish. And if you want to do it here in like certain packages and whatnot, then you're just taking up space that should be reserved for somebody who's been focusing on that position.
Yes.
So I say pick a damn position and play that damn position. All of this Travis Hunter wants to play two ways, that goes back into trying to be too damn cute shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they tried to do that with Hester. He was a corner when he came in. Then he was a wide receiver or the other way around. Can't remember. But what he really was a kick returner. Like, just let the dude pick, draft him, put him at one position, fuck all that bullshit. Okay? Mm-hmm. Fuck all of his nonsense because that's that Colorado nonsense. So, I agree. Just put his ass in the league, put him at one position, all of that gimmicky package and shit. No, don't do any of that. I don't even want to hear it. Because physically, he wouldn't be able to do it. He wouldn't be able to play two ways. And if he did play two ways, he'd be getting in the way of another player. And he'd be wearing himself out physically. So he'd be more likely to be injured.
I
And,
agree.
once you start getting injured, you don't stop getting injured. You keep getting fucking injured. Like, I mean, no, he can't do it.
I agree.
Fuck his damn ego if he thinks he can. It doesn't matter. It don't matter if he can do it. It don't matter one bit, because for the reasons I've already stated is why he won't do it. No coach worked the damn soda going to come in like, yeah, we're going to let you play both ways consistently. No, you're not, because you're going to lose the player you just drafted high as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
That's stupid. But, he can talk his shit. He can talk his shit, like I said. He can boost himself up and all of that. It's nonsense, though. It's, again, what you do about nothing.
All right. Next, we're talking about the first round pick meme of this decade. Jalen Reagor, one of the biggest memes that Philadelphia has ever memed. Minnesota Viking, Philadelphia, New England
Is he even
Patriots.
allowed in Philly?
I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I feel like don't let him have kids because he probably dropped the kid.
Yeah, right.
Jalen Reagor posted the meme video. I didn't see the picture. You mentioned it. I did not see it, but I know this is why he was released.
Yes.
Allegedly. I don't know if that's the exact reason why.
They won't say that's the exact reason, but it didn't help his cause. It's him. That's the reason. It's because he's Jalen Reagor. That's why he got cut. We all know what he is. We all know his game. We are all familiar with him.
He's the reason that Justin Jefferson hates the Eagles.
Yes. And that didn't help him either. That's the first reason we hated Jalen Reagor.
Mm-hmm.
So, the boy come in and actually did something, we might have forgave him, but nah. What was garbage from day one?
Mm-hmm.
And he was garbage in day 200. So, if he is a Bugatti, then that Bugatti is flat. One tire is missing. The windows are broken, and the seats are stripped out. That's what Jalen Reagor is. There might not even be a radio in it. They might have snatched a radio like it was 1985. It's like there's so much wrong with it. The window, the fucking wipers are broken. They're bent like this. The windshield wipers. There's little holes, little cracks all across the window. The steering wheel, there's no airbag in it. They ripped the middle out in the horn. The brakes busted. The clutch is busted. The gear shift's busted. The center console's busted. That little thing in the middle of the two seats in the back that you bring down and put your arms and your drink on is busted. The trunk's dented in, if there's even a trunk. Yeah. No, this is the biggest. This is a joke. This has to be a joke. If he sincerely thinks that he's anywhere close to a Bugatti and not a Geo Metro, then he's lying to himself. And that's it's an egregious lie. It's okay to lie to yourself with confidence, but to be so historically shit and you call yourself a Bugatti, somebody should smack you. Physically walk up to you and smack you for saying something so absurd and stupid. I do it, but I feel like if I touch you, then I'm going to have butterfingers. And I don't want that. I don't want your stink rubbing off on me. So someone out there, smack some sense into Jalen Reagor. Remind him he is not a Bugatti. He is, in fact, a hoopty.
I agree. My only thing about Jalen Reagor,
Pinky-ass, lemon-ass hoopty.
I think one of my biggest issues with Jalen Reagor, besides everything else that you already mentioned,
besides everything,
is his dad. His dad wasn't good, and his dad was a former NFL pro. Wasn't that good? He was a rotational, undersized D lineman for the Colts when the Colts had a shitty defense. Yeah. Peyton Manning era. The defense was not good.
Raheem, Brock, all defense.
Yes.
Oh,
yes. Lord. When everybody on their defense was under 300, everybody on their D line was under 300 pounds.
Yeah, I remember that tiny ass line.
Robert Mathis, 230 pounds. Dwight Freeney was 240, if that. Yeah, back then.
Yeah, I remember.
I didn't like that that Monty Rigger came out and was like, "Oh, y'all tripping. My son is nice."
If he was
Okay.
nice, he would have showed it, wouldn't he?
Yep.
I mean, how many times do you get to prove it and you fail to prove it?
He tried to shit on the Eagles after they let him go.
Mm.
You're a piece of shit. All right, move on.
You only
Boulevard.
doing what a good dad should do.
Yeah.
But then
You would
again,
give
he's
it-
not, because a good dad should be realistic.
Yes.
So they get up a disappointment.
All right. Before we got one more thing that we're going to discuss before we give you our predictions, which is what you came
Is it
here
Caitlin
for.
Clark?
Nah. Boulevard,
Okay.
you got the Hall of Fame list. So now we're going to talk about whether or not these nominees are Hall of Famers or Nizzy.
First ballot.
First ballots.
Some of them
Nizzy.
definitely are Hall of Famer, but the question is, are they first ballot? All right.
Negative.
We're going to go in positional order, I guess.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
At quarterback, two-time Super Bowl winner, goofy-looking motherfucker, Elijah Manning.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer.
First ballot?
I wouldn't say first ballot, no.
I wouldn't say fifth ballot. He ain't a Hall of Famer to me.
I think he ain't been retired long enough to be a. I think get a Giants 10 more years of being garbage, and then you realize what you lost. Then you can say like, yeah, give him a bust. But
so you say he is okay. Next is Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah. I don't like it's hard because he's a Hall of Famer. I wouldn't say first ballot, but yeah.
Struggling with this one, huh?
He's a first ballot. Like he's like one of the greatest guys to ever play the game. And not just with his ability to play on the field. It was just the way he was off the field, on the sideline, just everything about him. He was just hilarious. So
yeah. Great character, great running back. But because he's a running back, he's probably not getting in this year. Because it takes there's a line for running backs.
I say him as well, 10 more years, and then you put him in. Give him 10
he'll be in 3 years, 4 years. He'll be in.
I think him and Eli, you got a few more years till you put them on.
Darren Sproles.
No.
I feel like he's the all-time leader in something. I can't remember what. But
as much as I like Darren Sproles, I feel like there's gotta be you gotta. I don't know. No, he's just not a Hall of Fame. I wouldn't even go as far as say he's Hall of Famer, but I don't know the criteria anymore. What is the criteria for a Hall of Famer? Because
5 years out of the league, that's it.
Yeah, but what do you have to do to be in the Hall of Fame? Because I'm pretty sure Darren Sproles hasn't done that. I thought to be for a running back, you need 10,000 yards rushing. Has Darren Sproles given us that? I don't know.
Let's see. I'm going in now. Oh, I thought I was going in. Now I'm going in. Okay. Darren Sproles' career stats is not even close to 10,000 yards. He never had 1,000-yard season.
And he is not a Hall of Famer.
Let me see. He's had total where he's gotten 1,000 yards from scrimmage. And he was a solid kick returner. But
I don't think kick return is good.
I don't know. Huh?
If you want to put him in a category as a kick returner, now you got a different conversation.
Okay.
If you put him in the same category as Devin Hester, maybe. But it's just no, he's not a Hall of Famer.
He had more receiving touchdowns than rushing.
He's not a Hall of Famer. Maybe if he was a receiver, maybe, but
4.9 yards a carry. Yeah. No. Hall of Great, but not Hall of Fame.
Like if you're gonna put him in a Hall of Fame, 30 more years. He'll He'll get in the Hall of Fame post. What's the word? Posthumously.
No, I was going to say post 9/11. All right. Speaking of 9/11, somebody should have called it for this guy. Rest in peace, Demaryius Thomas.
No.
Fuck no.
No.
No, he's not a Hall of Famer. Why is he even on his list?
Like the only memorable thing about Demaryius Thomas is that he burnt me for 60 yards. But yeah.
The only thing I remember is that he died. And he played for Denver. That's it. He's not a Hall of Famer. You shouldn't even be on his list.
Yeah, he's not a Hall of Famer.
Just because you died and got better promotion don't mean you're a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, that's like them putting Pat Tillman in the Hall of Fame.
Pat Tillman was closer than Demaryius Thomas was.
But
Pat Tillman might have been a Hall of Famer, actually. He was a Hall of Famer. But Demaryius Thomas, nah.
And I remember there was rumblings about that the NFL should retire his number throughout the league because of his sacrifice. And I was like, that's nonsense. No. Because just because he died,
yeah,
niggas die every day in the army,
right?
Look out
here. Shot every day, baby.
And I wish somebody would try to call me out. Like, I served 12 years, so before you say anything, just tell me how many years you served before you try to bring this argument to me. Pat Tillman, no.
All right.
Next
no Demaryius Thomas because he's only famous for dying. Stop. I can't help it. I'm sorry. I have a dark sense of humor. I'm sorry. All right, tight end.
I'm Pat fucking Tillman.
Right? Most famous last word since out. Is Vernon Davis a Hall of Famer?
The tight end?
Mm-hmm.
All right, just had to make sure. Yeah, he's not a first ballot. None of these guys are first ballot. From this list so far, none of these guys are first ballot. 10 more years, possibly posthumous inductions. If you're going to put every guy on this list in the Hall of Fame, eventually, they're all posthumous Hall of Famers. And I think that's the reason why Demaryius Thomas is going to go on.
The choices get better, I promise.
Posthumous. I hope so, because I'm getting depressed.
These are just nominees. All right. The next one, I think he's more famous for playing till he was an old fart. Delaney Walker.
No.
Right? Why is he not on here?
Wasn't he a long snapper when he started this? Like the longest?
Who would have been? I couldn't tell you.
He was
played
like
so long that was probably.
He was the third tight end for a very long time. And then he just like, I'm going to leave the 49ers and go play for the Titans.
So you remember his career way better than I do.
I just remember he was number 46 and he was the third tight end for a very long time.
Damn. Not a Hall of Famer. Just
not a Hall of Famer. He's not a Hall of Famer at all. I don't even know why he's on this list like that, even be considered. His name. That's probably the only time his name is going to be mentioned. Jesus Christ.
He's not getting a statue or anything like that outside the stadium.
If you're going to bring him up, bring up
inside
Glenn Coffey.
The stadium. Right.
Glenn Coffey. Like, what? Get out my face. Next. Who put this list together?
Travis Frederick.
Who? The lineman?
Travis Frederick, yeah.
Not a first ballot, no. I
Agreed.
can't. And he was a Dallas Cowboy, so big no.
Yeah, that's why I can't say for certain because I definitely did not pay as much attention to him because he was a Cowboy.
Yeah, he was a Cowboy. I remember him, but he was a Cowboy. So
yeah,
no, not a first ballot. Maybe he'll probably get in, but he's not a first ballot.
I like this guy, but I don't know this next guy. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer. Ryan Khalil.
The lineman?
Yep.
Not a first ballot, but he'll get in. Probably posthumously.
No.
You gotta die first.
You want these people dead like Demarius Thomas.
You gotta die to get in.
And he still ain't getting in. He couldn't even die and get in. I'm sorry to his family, but y'all just got to deal with it.
And it bugs me because it's like, what y'all gonna say next? Tim Tebow dies, he's a Hall of Famer. Like, no, stop playing this game. Next person, man.
Joe Staley.
The tackle? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Joe Staley, yes.
Like I said, it gets better. There's some on here that are definite that deserve it, probably.
Joe Staley.
Joe
Play
Staley.
for the yes.
Long career, good tackle, though. Good tackle.
Yes.
Next, also long career, good guard. Marshall Yanda.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll give it to him.
Maybe not first ballot, but he's in. He's got to be in. He had a Hall of Fame career, I'd say.
Yes.
He got a ring.
Lockdown D-line on offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now we're moving on into defense. Linebacker from Carolina, Luke Kuechly. No way.
No.
No? Okay.
Not a first ballot.
No. See, I thought he was one of the only ones that might actually be because he's
I feel like he
Now, I mean, when he was in the league, he was probably one of the top 2 or 3 in the league. And the other 2 are Hall of Famers.
I can give him first ballot, but I understand that he left early because he felt like he couldn't do it physically no more.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a Carolina Panther, so I don't know. I'll give it to him. He gets his bust. He gets his gold jacket.
Good. He's in.
He's in for sure.
He's in. This next guy, one of my favorite players ever. I don't like the fact that people said I look like him because it still hurts my feelings to this day.
T-Sizzle.
T-Sizzle, Terrell Suggs.
Yes.
And that was really mean.
Yes.
It was really mean. It hurt my feelings, and I cut myself.
Yes.
It made me cut myself. See my scars?
Sizzle changed the way you play outside linebacker.
They really gonna think I cut myself because of T-Sizzle.
Sizzle, yes.
Ugly motherfucker. From the school
Him
of
and
hard
Peter
knocks.
Boulder.
He's in. Like, no doubt he's in.
Yeah.
But that might just be personal because we rooted for him, kind of. We cheered his successes when he was a Raven. Slightly. All right. Right? Suggs, you ugly motherfucker. You're in the Hall of Fame. Now, Antoine Bethea, the D-back.
No.
Okay. No argument here.
No.
Antoine Bethea.
No, they're going to have to Google him.
Damn. Aqib Talib.
Not a first ballot, but he's getting in. He gets his gold jacket. Not a first ballot, though.
Fair enough. Again, don't disagree. Earl Thomas.
Did T.O. get his jacket?
Don't know. Let me check.
If T.O. didn't get it, he can't. He don't get it.
Oh, I don't think he did. I really don't. What do you say? Oh no, he may have. I don't ever remember who's in.
He was inducted in 2018. Okay, so T.O. got his, then Earl Thomas does get his eventually. Not a first ballot. T.O. had to wait for his. Earl Thomas definitely got to wait for his.
Definitely. How is that the same? Please explain.
Because Terrell Owens was one of the best to ever do what he did. Earl Thomas cracked under pressure. And and he start like once the Legion of Boom broke it, like he just wasn't who he was supposed to be. He just stopped being good. Like T.O. didn't stop being, never stopped being good. Earl Thomas stopped being good.
Right.
So like T.O. didn't like slow down as his career as he got older. He started getting better. Earl Thomas slowed down. So I think Earl Thomas does get in, not first ballot. T.O. should have been first ballot Hall of Fame.
All right. I think Earl Thomas is a first ballot. He is in my book. But, I mean, because for his era, he was probably the best.
Yeah,
Wait, what's the word I'm looking for? He was a hitter, but whatever. Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Next up, Vinatieri.
Without a doubt.
Right.
Absolutely. First ballot. He goes in there and they be like, hey, you want this gold jacket? He like, yeah, I got it.
Right. And he should have Brady's too. He should take Brady's jacket too. Because Brady, the only reason Brady in the Hall of Fame. Well, not the only reason, but he the main reason he got those rings.
He should get Belichick's too.
Yep. He won those championships.
I think
don't give him enough credit for it.
I think Vinatieri should get Brady's jacket and Brady should get Belichick's jacket. Belichick don't need the jacket.
Right. Belichick was a fraud anyway.
Is that the last person we got?
That is the last one. Yep.
All right. Now, your feature presentation, ladies and gentlemen. The prediction. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Saints.
Yeah. Who you got?
I think this is going to be one of the most embarrassing games the Philadelphia Eagles have ever played. Yeah, this is going to be a game where the Eagles have the floor wiped with them. They will wipe the floor with Eagles feathers this season. Rashid Shaheed gets 200 yards receiving because he's going to. I don't think anybody's stopping that speed, especially with C.J. Gardner-Johnson going down. It's a dunyon. It's a dunzo because you got Olave, you got Shaheed. I don't think any of the linebackers are going to be able to guard Juwan Johnson either, so he's going to have a big game. Kamara, they haven't stopped the run yet, so I think this is going to be another one of those days where the Saints look like a team that they aren't who they are. They're going to look like a different team. So Eagles defense and this lack of pass rush is going to be the killer for the Eagles this week. So I'm picking the Saints.
Me too. You already said all the reasons. Eagles defense can't stop nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Until otherwise, any offense that's been crushing it, I'm picking them over the Eagles.
Yes.
Because I don't trust the Eagles defense. I do trust the Eagles offense, which means I expect a shootout in most games this year. But this week, they're just not going to have enough firepower.
Again, yeah. And like I said, this is why I say the Eagles have to put up 5-6 touchdowns offensively to stay in the game. And this right here, this Carr, Shaheed, Carr, Kamara, Carr, Olave, Carr, Johnson offense is just going to be way too hot for the defense. And they're not going to keep up with them. So if they do it, if the Eagles come out with this one, I'll be shocked. If the Eagles can hold the Saints to under 25 points, I'll be shocked.
Yeah, that would be pretty surprising. But this does feel like another one of those first team to 30 games.
Yep.
I'm here for it.
And
I got the Saints winning too.
Yeah, and I feel like I think what happens is if the Eagles have a turnover, it's over.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's the 3 and outs and the turnovers that's going to kill Philly, and we know what's going to happen. It's just a matter of the defense being able to stay in front of the Saints and not let them get behind them. I don't see it happening, especially with Gardner Johnson out in the offense. If A.J. Brown isn't playing, which it looks like he's not going to play, looks like he's not going to play from what I've been hearing. He's going to miss at least 2 more weeks. Yeah.
Damn, this is a season high for us. 1 hour 42. Damn.
Yeah, so that's where
You've
I say.
explained it thoroughly. I mean, yeah, you've explained it thoroughly. I got nothing.
So that's what I have. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've got your predictions for the Eagles-Saints game. And we gave you a little bit more. I hope you like what you see. Make sure you're liking and subscribing. And if you have any comments or concerns or you want to argue with us a little bit, do it in the comments. I have a great time responding to it. Other than that, I like to end my day and tell you guys, because we're here on the bench, I say we cannot all be starters. But Boulevard is the expert, and he can tell you exactly where you can be.
Yeah, I'm kind of an expert, but you know who's an expert on not being a starter? Bryce Young. And you know what happened to Bryce Young? He hit the bench.